Row 18, plot 20.
Everybody, welcome to Now It's Dark. I'm Jim. Today we're going to do a review for a movie that is on Paramount Plus. This is a Paramount Plus original called Death's Roulette, also known as Una para morir. This is a Mexican film that stands for One Must Die. It has a 5-point-star rating on IMDb, but it's very new, so that may or may not go down. It's classified as a drama, mystery, thriller, so not quite horror. Um, but here is the theme of the movie: is 7 people are kidnapped and suddenly find themselves part of a deadly game. So yeah, not even close to an original idea. This is a classic movie where a group of people wake up somewhere mysterious, and then they're given a timeline to escape or, do whatever. So we go through all of the tropes that I'll list off in just a moment. It's directed by Manolo Cardona, written by Gavo Emil, Frank Arza, and Juliette Steinberg. And I'm really sorry for butchering some of these names. Maribel Verdú plays Marta, Manolo Cardona, Simon. So the director was in this. Adriana Paz as Teresa, Tago Correa, Joaquin, Carla, Adell, Lupe, Fernando Bercheril as Jose, Juan Carlos Remolina, Esteban, and Dagoberto Gama Armando. I think that is the main cast. So, yeah, 7 strangers wake up in a mansion in the middle of nowhere to discover they are part of a twisted game. They will have 60 minutes to choose one person to die, otherwise all of them will be murdered. As the clock ticks down, the most lurid secrets will come to light, and they'll discover they are all connected by a dark past. So you just know that this is a little tropey. This was released on May 5th, 2023. And again, like I said, it's on Paramount Plus. It is a Spanish-speaking film. The version that I watched, though, on Paramount Plus was dubbed with English. I had dedicated time to make sure that I was able to pay attention when I decided to add this movie to my review rotation. And I was completely expecting to have to watch subtitles. So I was kind of surprised. I don't know that I enjoyed the dub. I think I would have liked this movie if I had watched it with the original actors' voices. Some of the dubbing voices sounded just a little off, and then there's some movies can't really nail the dub so that it's not, the audio doesn't sound a little off. It wasn't like horrible. But it was just noticeable enough. Plus, like I said, I was expecting to have to read subtitles. So, yeah, there is a big opening sequence of this stunning landscape, like this island with this mansion built into the side of this island. And then we're introduced to the different characters. There's a family, a father with his wife and daughter, Lupe. But she's older. She's not like a little girl. There's an older man. There's a middle-aged man. There's a female who's like a flight attendant. There's a guy who is a police officer. So they're given the instructions on what to do. We go through all the tropey stuff. Like, I am going to be spoiler-free, so when I describe some of these tropes, it's not going to be spoiling the movie, because if you haven't ever watched a movie like this, it's not like Saw, and it's not like the Cube series of movies, but it is like Truth or Dare, so to some degree. But yeah, so they all wake up. They're disoriented. Where are we? Who are you? Why am I here? And we go through all that. We get all of their introductions. We get their backgrounds. There's a few puzzles introduced by their captor over, an overhead loudspeaker puzzle, so to speak, that they have to figure out, which helps them find the links to how they are all connected. It's not an altogether bad movie. Just, like, you have to get through a lot of the stuff that's so familiar from past films that I've watched like this. And some of the acting is just, okay. But the dub was throwing it off a little bit for me. I don't think that that's going to be the case for everybody else. I'm talking from a personal standpoint. That the dub just seemed off to me. Maybe it's my hearing. And so when you watch a movie like this, knowing that this is such a blatant, generic plot, you start to wait for what's going to be their hook, what's going to be their twist, what's their version going to be, and when are we going to finally get there? So then we finally get there, and the people that have survived so far through this 60 minutes, we think we've had, so they have to vote for who's going to die so that the rest of them can stay alive. So once we get to a vote, we think we're kind of nearing a closure of this story, but then their captor kicks it up a notch and says, well, there's still time left. And then so we get a little twist, and then a little twist after that. There were twist on top of twist on top of twist, and any one of these twists could have been its own ending, but they just kept twisting one up, level up their twist, and they weren't really level upped until the very last twist, and then we get the major reveal. So yeah, 5.4 star rating on IMDb. It's very new. It might go up. It's not a horrible film. It's shot well. There's some good effects. The acting's not horrible. It's a small enough cast. It's not a huge cast that you have to try to contend with, but there's a lot of the tropey stuff. But some of the acting for one of the characters is a little overdone, a little dramatic, but it's really not a bad film. So if you have Paramount Plus, it's free. Just check it out. It's called Death's Roulette, or Uno para morir, which translates to One Must Die. And yeah, not a horrible film, not quite like horror, and not a lot of suspense, but it's that mystery. It's that trying to figure out when we're going to find out what their connection is, which is probably the hook of the movie for this kind of a plot. So if you go on to watch this movie, come back and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of it.
So have your dream, go on and sing your song. There's nothing wrong with singing out of tune. If people laugh and say your dream can never be, just think of